My name is Paul Blumenthal, and I'm an artist and an architect in Butte, Montana. I'm one of two artists sponsored by the Montana Wilderness Association in 2015 to create art inspired by the wilderness experience of the Northern Rockies Continental Divide Trail. I chose the Twin Lakes Forest Service cabin for my artist in residence based on its proximity to the alpine terrain of the Beaverhead Mountains of southwest Montana and the warmth, security, and simplicity of the cabin. The Beaverhead Mountains are geographically part of the Bitterroot Mountains, which straddle the Montana-Idaho border and are bordered by the Big Hole Valley and its ranching heritage. I have always been drawn to the mountains and the alpine landscape and am thankful for this opportunity from the Montana Wilderness Association to draw and paint while immersed, uninterrupted, in the wilderness of southwest Montana. Before this artist in residence, I have been fortunate to travel and draw in Israel, India, Mexico, and Southern Europe. It has always been important to draw from life for me. To quote Ludacris, "That's what I do." I did not fully understand why it is important for me to draw from life until I reread and followed coursework in The Natural Way to Draw by Kimon Nicolaides. According to Nicolaides, drawing depends on seeing. Seeing depends on knowing. Knowing comes from a constant effort to encompass reality with all your senses. Furthermore, if the student's efforts are based on a sincere effort to experience nature, you will know that you are on the right track, and picture making will take care of itself. Ideally, the artist adds feeling and thought to what the eye can see. He or she can, if they wish, relate to us the adventure of the soul in the midst of life. For me, it is important to get to the truth. The truth, as I understand it firsthand, arrived at by the use of all my senses when I'm drawing or painting. And I believe this is especially important in conveying or expressing a special place experienced by few people. Initial preparation for the artist in residence was the acquisition of a pickup truck, a prerequisite for life in the backcountry of being a man in Montana. I almost feel like a bar mitzvah driving a pickup on a gravel road. I began preparation for my art site artist in residence by intensive life drawing based on the natural way to draw. One exercise noted by Nicolaides is the daily composition, a drawing from memory of a person or people in their environment in less than 15 minutes, a gesture composition from memory every day. This exercise in composing from memory became a visual diary while I lived at the Twin Lakes cabin, drawing, painting, hiking, kayaking, cooking, and dreaming. Looking through my daily compositions, you may note that in my last drawing, while I stayed at Twin Lakes, I'm carrying an axe around, and I don't have a smile on my face. I believe that was due to the fact that two road slugs were camped nearby, and they ran their generators all night long, requiring me to wear earplugs. The last morning when I woke up, I knew it was time for me to depart Twin Lakes. My time hiking and climbing peaks in the high country was comparatively short compared to time spent drawing and painting at the cabin. When I hike, I generally hike at a quick pace, and when I'm alone, I hike even faster due to my adrenaline. I mostly walked off trail to get to the Continental Divide Trail and an alpine lake nearby. After a mountain pass, I navigated the South Ridge to climb the first peak. I spent time on the summit surveying what was around me and for a few quick pencil studies, and then went down a different route, following trees, down a talus slope to a glacial moraine, which I walked before descending the final slope to find the trail at the bottom of the valley. After that, I hiked back to camp for cocktails with Muskie the Muskrat by 5 p.m. After only 3 days at the empty campground, I found that I did not appreciate the wilderness without some form of human contact or some level of familiarity. While drawing the spectacular, desolate landscape surrounding me, I found comfort in the familiar, common, everyday objects we take for granted. The interior of the cabin with its tools and kitchen implements, I considered a warm, familiar place to view and dream of the wilds outside. With the exception of Muskie the muskrat, who swam around the lake at dawn and dusk, my friends were the cabin, the simple tools and furnishings contained therein, and a few books, including Brock the Late Works and Starlight and Storm by Gaston Rebouffet, which were both inspiring reads. Brock said painting was about the common things, the things that you and I share. I felt this staying alone at the cabin. The media I use include pencil, charcoal, ink, and watercolor on paper. I also paint in oils, a new medium for me. The sense of touch is important to me. When I draw or paint, I feel that I am touching what I am drawing, and I want to convey that to the viewer. I never know how a drawing or painting will develop. Although based on reality, the drawings and paintings are intended to stand on their own terms, without reference to reality or whatever I'm drawing. The oil paintings are more of a mystery to me due to their nature. Again, according to Brock, everything changes when you come up against matter itself. Like other artists before me, I return to my drawings for inspiration. But an oil painting, at least for me, is similar to a building in process and has a life of its own compared to drawings on paper. Every day at Twin Lakes Cabin was spent outside eating, hiking, kayaking, doing chores, drawing, and painting. Every night I spent in the cabin drawing and painting, and as I fell asleep, I would peer out the window at the trees silhouetted in abstract shapes, black against the Milky Way. The harvest moon, out of sight, cast shadows and turned the lake to shimmering silver ripples. I would like to thank the Montana Wilderness Association for this opportunity. In addition, I would like to thank the following individuals: Steve Faherty for digital image mastering and IT assistance, Elliot Little Bit Downing for video, audio production, and editing. I'd like to thank my family for their support, my wife, Sarah Demoni, Andrew Demoni, Ian Demoni, and Bricken Demoni Gross. I'd also like to make this presentation in the memory of my stepmother, Joyce Blumenthal, who was a kind and caring mother. Thanks. Bye.